correction has come. First, let's talk about hardware. AMD plummeted 16% in a single trading session, dragging the NASDAQ down with it, as investors suddenly questioned the future of the semiconductor runner-up. Second, a big valuation for ElevenLabs. While legacy tech burned, the voice AI startup ElevenLabs confirmed an $11 billion valuation, signaling that money is fleeing tools and moving into native AI platforms. Third, the alliance structure. Reports from The Information indicate Amazon is negotiating for special access to OpenAI technology, potentially breaking the industry's most critical power balance. And finally, the physics of scale. Meta is quietly expanding its Hyperion data center to a size that is difficult to comprehend, proving that the future belongs only to those who can afford to pave the earth with GPUs. Let's start with the crash. For a while, the market has been punishing software companies, but today the panic moved to hardware. Today, AMD stock collapsed, shedding 60% of its value in hours. This sell-off triggered a broader contagion, wiping out nearly $300 billion in market value across the software and semiconductor sectors. I lost money too, I'm upset. Major players like Adobe and Oracle were also dragged down. So the question is why? Why would a chip company crash in the middle of the greatest computing boom in human history? The answer lies in a concept called demand destruction. Now, this happens when a new technology is so efficient that it actually reduces the total volume of the resources needed to achieve a result. The market is waking up to a terrifying possibility that if AI agents become exponentially more efficient at coding and content creation, companies might not need to buy more software seats or more mid-tier chips. They might just need the best model and the best chip, leaving the second-place competitors with nothing. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, you all know him, he immediately attempted to stop the bleeding. He went on record today calling these fears the most illogical thing in the world. He argues that AI will expand the total pie, not shrink it. But the market ignored him. The tension here is palpable, If the inference phase of AI, where the models actually run, can be handled by smaller, more specialized models, or if the efficiency gains are too high, the infinite growth narrative for hardware vendors like AMD, it breaks. But while the public markets were panic selling the old guard, the private markets were crowning a new king. This brings us to ElevenLabs. On the exact same day that software stocks were decimated, ElevenLabs announces it has raised $500 million of fresh capital at an $11 billion valuation. So let's contextualize this, $11 billion is not a normal valuation for a startup focuses on a single modality, which is voice in this instance. For comparison, that's larger than the market cap of many established public tech firms that have existed for decades. This range, which includes backing from NVIDIA, suggests a pivot in what investors value. There's been a big pivot away from regular SaaS tools that help humans work faster. They're more looking for agentic interfaces now. ElevenLabs isn't just text-to-speech, It's powering operating systems for voice interaction. When you combine this valuation with Amazon's announcement today that Alexa Plus is now available to everyone in the United States, the trajectory is clear. The keyboard and the mouse are lossy input devices. They're slow and require manual skill, but voice is high bandwidth and universal. We might be seeing a major pivot into voice interfaces. Now, if ElevenLabs succeeds in its ultimate mission, they might not just replace voice actors, they might replace the visual user interface itself. Because who doesn't want a Jarvis? Who doesn't just want to have a device that you speak into and it does everything you want? If you can talk to your computer and it executes complex tasks perfectly, you don't need to be navigating complex menus and file systems. All you need is the voice model. Let's play some devil's advocate, Is voice actually ready for this high-stakes environment? I don't think so, especially when it comes to security, We have seen a lot of deepfake scandals recently and fraud risks have been escalating. Just today, ABC 7 New York reported that AI-generated images of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani are circulating, proving that the line between reality and fabrication is dissolving. There are entire subreddits devoted to figuring out, is this AI? If ElevenLabs becomes the voice of the internet, how do we verify who's speaking? The valuation assumes that they solve this, but if they don't, that $11 billion becomes a bit of a liability. This shift in power dynamics brings us to the most aggressive strategic move of the day, Amazon. For a couple years, the AI landscape was defined by the alliance between Microsoft and OpenAI. Microsoft provided the cloud, Azure, and the money, and OpenAI provided the intelligence. But in a bit of a swing, today, Amazon is discussing getting special access to OpenAI's technology. So this is a bit of a structural breach. If Amazon Web Services, the largest cloud provider in the world, secures direct privilege access to OpenAI's models, the exclusivity that Microsoft paid billions of dollars for is effectively dead. And this suggests that OpenAI is becoming cloud agnostic. And what that means is that as a software provider, they refuse to be locked into a single infrastructure vendor, letting them take their pick from Google to AWS to Oracle, etc. For Sam Altman and OpenAI, this is leverage. For Amazon, this is a survival necessity. But Amazon is not just buying models, they're deploying them into the physical world of production. Reuters broke the news today that Amazon is planning to use AI to drastically speed up TV and film production. But the entire supply chain of media, scheduling, logistics, post-production, and visual effects. If we connect this back to the ElevenLabs news, if Amazon controls the production pipeline, meaning studios, editors, effects, and Amazon also controls the distribution method, Prime Video, Alexa Plus, and they utilize the best models from OpenAI for achieving vertical integration. But there is a cost to all of this, a literal physical cost to all of this. This leads us to our final and perhaps most significant story. Meta and Project Hyperion. While Amazon negotiates and AMD crashes, Meta is digging holes in the ground. Fortune reported today that Meta is expanding its Hyperion AI data center to a scale that's kind of difficult to visualize. The report states the facility will be 4 times the size of New York City's Central Park. And the price tag is estimated about the same as ElevenLabs valuation at $10 billion. Let's think about it. $10 billion for a single facility. So what we're seeing develop is a moat of physics, okay? Usually moats are intellectual property or brand loyalty, but today the moat is concrete, copper, megawatts, electricity, and GPUs, no longer necessarily from NVIDIA. So if we bring everything all together, today on February 4th, the market panicked because it realized its middle section is dying, okay? The chipmaker who is not NVIDIA, you're at risk. If you're the software company selling generic tools, you're being replaced by native AI agents. The value is concentrating at the absolute top companies like Meta that can spend $10 billion on a building, and companies like ElevenLabs that are building the interface layer between agents and consumers. And that's ElevenLabs at $11 billion, basically for rewriting the rules of how UI works. I'm so excited for a Jarvis to come. I've been waiting for Jarvis for so long. Anyway, the economy is bifurcating, okay? There are the builders of the gods, and there are the users of the tools. And the space in between, the space where most of the S&P 500 lives, it's shrinking a little bit. So that leaves us with a lot of questions like, which stocks do I buy or sell? Is my VGT, this is a personal question, my Vanguard account where I mostly own VGT, is that just gonna disappear? Should I sell it? What's happening? Yeah, truthfully, I don't have that many answers, but maybe I'll have some more tomorrow when I see you in the next video. Like and comment, love you.